Why is defensiveness so pervasive in marriage? This is part 15 of my series on defensiveness in marriage and why you should treat it like a substance abuse issue. AKA, it's very fixable and treatable under the right circumstances, if with boundaries, clear, consistent conversations, and having your own life. So why is it so persistent in marriage? Well, defensiveness it's an emotional reaction, like it's a trauma response. It's an automatic behavior associated with an emotional experience. And why it's so pervasive in marriage is because people can mask outside of marriage in every way. Like at work, you have to be a certain way. With your friends, you can be a certain way. Like no one's really requiring emotional vulnerability and self-awareness outside of the home like it is in the home. Like being in the home is the most it's in the moment, when you have kids and marriage, like when you have emotional dynamics at play that are real and that you have to face, when there's sex involved, when there's money involved, like when there's partnership involved, when it's like intimate and raw, and which is what marriage and family is. That's why defensiveness is so pervasive there. And it's definitely like at work, if you think about it, if someone's being criticized or like a performance review, they can mask their response. They're not going to be who they really are because their livelihood depends on it. And marriage and family a lot of times isn't viewed that way, but that's why I think marriage and family is like the hardest thing that leads to like enlightenment in some ways, because you face who you really are. They say that marriage is a mirror and children are a magnifying glass. And in marriage, it requires a self-awareness and going deeper emotionally. That's why I think it's so pervasive, because people's their automatic stress responses come out, and there's an entitlement there, and there's just not a mask like there is required in the real world. Someone else asked, what do you do when defensiveness is pervasive with both people? Defensiveness is intellectualizing, it's logic, it's staying on the surface of things. The only way to manage this issue with yourself is to go deeper emotionally. When you notice that behavior, because the emotional experience is enmeshed with the behavior, like it's so automatic. And so it takes a slowing down and a separating of the behavior and the emotions. It's saying, what's happening in me when this is happening? And when you learn to do this with yourself, when you learn to manage your own behaviors this way, separating your behaviors from your emotions, sitting with your emotions, figuring that stuff out, you can only from that place can you choose to do something else. So it takes mindfulness and it takes emotional awareness, and that is the solution to this for both people in marriage.